Hello friends, and welcome to Restaurant Recipe Recreations. Now you could tell from the thumbnail and the title that this is not going to be a cooking episode. And to all of my viewers who watch my channel to learn how to recreate your favorite signature dishes from the most popular restaurants, do not worry. I am not changing the format of my channel. And in fact, I'm already thinking about what killer recipes I'm going to bring you next week, the week after that. And of course, I'm still working off of my ever-growing subscriber request list. So if you have requested a restaurant or a recipe, be on the lookout and yours might be the next one coming up. But I did want to create this video in the hopes that I could help other small YouTube cooking channels. And when I reference small YouTube cooking channels, I am absolutely putting myself in that category. At the time of this taping, I have about 2,000 subscribers. And I know that a part of my audience are other cooking channels that watch me, possibly to gain some tips and some ideas on what to do in their own videos, and certainly to get some tips and ideas of what not to do. And I understand that, and I'm fine with that. And that's just part of being the YouTube community. And so I understand that. But I was able to launch my channel and gain my first 1,000 subscribers in less than 4 months and ultimately get monetized in less than 5 months. And while I know that I am not breaking any kind of YouTube records and they're not sending me a plaque next week or anything like that, by every other standard and metric, my channel is considered a channel that is growing relatively quickly. And so I wanted to produce this video to my fellow YouTubers, particularly with cooking channels, in the hopes that some of the tips that I give you today could help you either launch or grow your YouTube cooking channel. And I know that there are millions of videos out there on how to grow your YouTube channel. Some of the channels that have been valuable to me are Nick Nimmin, Rob Wilson at vidIQ, Sean Cannell at Think Media, Annie Dubé, Sunny Lenarduzzi, just to name a few. And so you may want to check those out for yourself if you haven't already. But in my research, I discovered that there were very few videos on how to specifically grow a cooking channel. In fact, I think I maybe found like 3 or 4. And I have had some questions and some requests through my channel and through some of my other social media platforms from my other fellow YouTube cooking channels on how I have been able to grow and monetize in a relatively short amount of time. And I have thought very, very long and hard over the last week or so about the things that I did before I launched my channel and the things that I continue to do to grow my channel that I feel were the most important factors. And in fact, I even wrote kind of a script and a bullet point list so that I didn't forget to mention anything that I think is important. Because it is my hope for you that this video brings you the most amount of value and that the tips that I present to you today are helpful in your YouTube journey. And so let's start with the very first point. And I'm going to be referencing my notes every now and again, so sorry about that. The first point is that the concept of your channel is king. You want to look for trends in cooking and to evaluate how your style of cooking can embrace that trend. So for example, Instapot cooking, or cocktail parties and appetizers, or boards like cheese boards and fruit boards, which are so popular now. And as you know, obviously, the theme of my channel is Restaurant Recipe Recreations. And I brought my 25 years of experience and contacts and reference in the hospitality and restaurant industry to my channel. And so I created a channel, obviously, that caters to popular restaurants and their most popular recipes within that restaurant. And I feel as though that has been one of the most valuable assets to my channel. And in YouTube, you hear often the expression of niching down your channel. And I do agree, you do want to niche down your channel. Like, for example, with my channel, I've niched it down to restaurant recipes. But be careful about niching down too far because you don't want to put yourself into a box and you don't want to limit your creativity because you've put yourself into this niche box. I did have somebody do a channel audit on my channel early on, and their recommendation was that I niche down even further. And I have to say that I disagreed with that because I have already niched down to specifically restaurants and the recipes that come from restaurants. And I didn't want to go down so far that it limited me to, one restaurant? And your channel needs to appeal to a broad enough base so that you can get the subscribers and get the views that you're looking for. And in the point that concept is king, you really do want to use the SEO to your advantage because you want to optimize your search on what viewers are looking for, specifically your viewers. And so before you even come up with an idea for a channel or an episode within your channel, you already already know what your viewers are looking for. And this obviously helps you to get your views, which then helps you to get your subscribers and your watch time. TubeBuddy is a great tool for that. I'm not sponsored by TubeBuddy. I happen to use TubeBuddy, and it is a great tool for that. But I will tell you that in my opinion, the best way to find what your viewers are looking for is through the YouTube search bar directly, because of course they are the second biggest search engine in the world, followed by Google, and Google owns YouTube. So if you can go into your YouTube search bar and start to type out an idea that you have for an episode, whatever autofills is a very good indicator of what your viewers are already looking for in YouTube or in Google. And so then you can create an episode surrounding that. I'll give you an example of something that works for my channel. I feature Carrabba's often as a restaurant on my channel. So if I go into the YouTube search bar and I type in Carrabba's, it will autofill into what people are looking for at Carrabba's. The chicken marsala episode that I produced, for example, was something that I knew people were looking for. It also happened to be one of my subscriber request videos, but it was something that people were looking for. And consequently, that was one of my most successful videos in the first 5 to 7 days after I downloaded it. Not necessarily because they were looking for me, but because they were looking for Carrabba's chicken marsala. And so that is my first point, is that concept is king. Even in the restaurant industry, the concept of your restaurant will determine the success of your restaurant. And the same thing holds true for YouTube. The concept of your channel will predetermine the success of your channel. So if you have not launched your channel yet, make that your main focus. And if you already have launched your channel, it's never really too late to change your concept. You can look at the videos that are working and find a common theme within those videos. And that should be the jumping off point for the concept for your entire channel. Let's go into my second point that I think is as valuable maybe as my first point of concept is king, and that is to get to know YouTube. Your channel is partnering with YouTube, and if you went into any other business arrangement, whether it is opening a restaurant or a retail store or a landscaping company, and you were going to go into the business with a partner, you would get to know your partner first before you entered into this business relationship. And YouTube is no different. Learn about YouTube and how YouTube works. It is best to do this prior to your launch, but it's never too late to start. And in fact, I don't think that you ever really stop learning about YouTube. YouTube constantly is growing and changing and evolving, and you need to keep up with that evolution as well in order to maintain long-term success for your channel. And what I mean by get to know YouTube is use the resource of YouTube itself, all of the unbelievable fountain of knowledge that you can find on YouTube on how to build, launch, start, grow your YouTube channel. Even before you launch, watch videos on how to launch a YouTube channel. Once you launch, watch videos on how to get your first 100 subscribers. When you get your first 100 subscribers, switch gears and start watching videos on how to gain your first 1,000 subscribers. Once you get your first 1,000 subscribers, watch videos on how to monetize and get sponsorships. And constantly level up on your knowledge of YouTube. Like I said, YouTube is your partner, so get to know your partner. Ask yourself questions and look for information on how does YouTube work? How do you make money at YouTube? How does YouTube support its content creators? And spend your time learning this information because it is invaluable. And if you're saying to yourself, I don't really have any extra time between my life or perhaps my other career or making videos and editing videos, I want to address that as well. I get it. Time is completely limited for everybody on the face of this earth. And you have your other life. Maybe you have another job and you're trying to use YouTube as a way to get out of your career or to change careers. And you have your family and you have your children and you have responsibilities and you have a social life. Trust me, I have all of those things. And I do agree that YouTube takes time. But I have found that there are always moments in your day where you can maximize your usage of time. The best thing about YouTube is that you can plug in anywhere you are. So what if you were to get in an hour a day of free YouTube knowledge? I mean, that would be incredible. That would be 7 hours a week of knowledge from YouTube and learning about YouTube that you could then incorporate into your own channel. And there are ways to do it. Trust me, there are. You just have to be creative. Some examples are you can put an episode on in your commute time. What about you put your earbuds in when you're at the grocery store? When you're running errands, when you're working out, there are always opportunities for you to be doing something else and learning about YouTube. And so I feel as though that is really one of my most valuable tips as well, in that you need to learn about the culture of YouTube, the community of YouTube, and how YouTube supports you in your partnership with the platform. Now let's move into my third point. My third point is consistency and accountability to yourself. And so find a schedule that works with you and your lifestyle that you can remain committed to. I mean, the great thing about YouTube is that there are no deadlines, there are no bosses. In fact, you are your own boss, which is why so many people move to the YouTube platform to create a life and a lifestyle of entrepreneurship where they are in charge of their own life and their own income. But you do have to have consistency and accountability to yourself. And that is what will keep you moving forward. Find a schedule that works for you. If it's too chaotic and too hectic and you're doing too much at once, it's not something that you can sustain. But as you start out, if you feel that you can put a little bit more time towards YouTube, then grow in that direction as well. It doesn't have to be all or nothing, but it does have to work for you so that you know that it's a schedule that you can maintain. If you're watching this video and you have not yet launched your cooking channel, I would like to give you a piece of advice, something that I did with my personal channel that I think had a massive impact on my channel overall. I launched with 12 episodes, and what I mean by that is before I ever launched my channel, I produced, filmed, edited, and even downloaded into YouTube 12 complete episodes, and then I set those to private. And then the day that I decided to launch, which happened to be my birthday, it was kind of a birthday gift that I gave to myself, I launched with 12 complete episodes. And why I think that that was so helpful was because right out of the gate, the day that I launched my YouTube channel, I already had what I call a library of 12 complete episodes. And what this did was give my viewers, my brand new viewers, every single one of my viewer was brand new because my channel was brand new, but this gave all of my viewers an opportunity to quickly get to know me and the channel and what my channel was all about, as opposed to just one video. And of course, most of my viewers were initially friends and family, but that's okay because they shared it with their friends and family. And so anybody that didn't know me was able to go on to my channel and instantly get an idea of what my channel was about. They could kind of hop on back and forth from one video to the next, and they could start to recognize a theme within my channel and also get to know my personality pretty quickly, as opposed to just one video or two videos. And because I did that, that gave my channel momentum from the very, very start. And I was able to get 100 subscribers in just like a few weeks. And then anything that I added to that was only adding to a library that was already established. Now, if you've already launched your channel and you didn't do it with 12 episodes or 5 episodes or 20 episodes or whatever, it's fine. Just remember the point of point number 3, in that consistency is key. And maintain a schedule that works for you, but have it be a consistent schedule, whether it's 1 upload a week, 2 uploads a week, whatever you can do. And if you are really looking to make YouTube your career, you cannot let outside influences come in and interfere with your goal. I keep Mondays to my film days. And yeah, I'll have a girlfriend text me and say, hey, you want to go to lunch on Monday? Of course I want to go to lunch with a girlfriend on Monday. Go have a glass of wine, chill out and relax and have fun and talk and laugh. Of course I do. But I hold Mondays sacred. And so, no, I can't do Monday, but maybe I can do Friday. And so my point is that you just have to maintain that consistency and stay accountable to yourself. Okay, point number 4. Continue to always level up. And you hear this expression a lot in YouTube, but the reason that you hear it a lot is because it is important. Level up on your skill set and level up on your equipment whenever possible. You don't need a bunch of fancy equipment to start your YouTube channel. In fact, I think my first episodes were shot off of my phone, which if you go back and look at my first episodes, it's pretty obvious. And then I got a better camera. And then over time, I added some lighting and I added a microphone. I had to first decide if YouTube and this journey was going to be right for me. And so I didn't spend a bunch of money on equipment, only to come to find out that maybe I didn't like it. And now I'm stuck with all of this equipment. And so I do not recommend doing that. But you can always level up on your skill set. That is something that you can always do. And in life in general, that's just a good idea. So one way to level up, for example, is to get better at editing. I am not the world's best editor. I mean, I think that's pretty obvious. But I will say that my latest video is much better than my first video. And you continue to get better and better as you go and as you grow. But an important thing to remember is that everybody brings a certain skill set to their YouTube journey and to life in general right out of the gate. You have skills and you have talents, whatever those skills and talents are. And figure out what those talents and skills are that you already possess, that you feel that you can bring to your channel to make a difference right from the get-go. And use those in your YouTube channel. I laugh about my editing, and my editing is getting better, but I didn't bring any editing talent. In fact, I mean, it's obvious, right? It's obvious. I didn't bring any editing talent to the table when I started my YouTube channel, but I have a lot of marketing and sales experience, and I was able to bring that to the table because for over 25 years, I did marketing and sales in the hospitality industry. And so I was able to bring my marketing skill set, which helped me with the SEO and helped me with the research and things of that nature. My friends over at the channel Food Trails, which I would love for you to check out, she is a graphic designer and photographer. And so it is so obvious in her channel. I mean, her food photography and the way that she edits her videos are just beautiful. And I wish I had that. I mean, I absolutely do. I wish that when I sat down to edit my first video with YouTube, that it looked as beautiful as hers. But it doesn't, and it won't, and it didn't. And then, in the meantime, as I grow my channel, I work on the things that I need to work on. And I continue to learn and grow in those areas. And everybody, although maybe I can't say everybody, but most everybody has the skill set of common sense. So bring your common sense to your YouTube journey. You're going to need to use a lot of it. My fifth tip on how I have been able to grow my YouTube channel to this point, and of course I'm continuing to grow, is to become part of the YouTube community. You know, YouTube is really kind of a special place. And the people that have decided to create their careers in YouTube look at it and treat it as though it's a community, because it really is. So support channels that you personally like. Comment on those channels, watch their videos, like their videos. Even consider creating a support playlist on your personal channel to give a shout out to other channels that you enjoy in the hopes that perhaps you can drive some traffic to their channel. Because you know what? We're all better when we work together. This is a very collaborative community, and it just makes sense. And it's just better in life if you help other people to grow so that in turn, people help you. And in that same vein, there's a couple of great channels that I would like you to check out. There's a cooking channel called Logan's Inner Chef. I also very much like Brian's Blues Kitchen. I mentioned Food Trails. And so just make supporting YouTube and your fellow YouTubers that are on the platform part of your daily routine to help and support them. Like I said, watch their videos. When you watch the videos, maybe you'll learn a little something. Maybe you'll take some information away that you want to incorporate into your own videos. Or, like I said earlier, I mean, maybe you're watching some of my videos to discover the things that you don't want to do in your videos. And that's fine too. But more than supporting other channels, what you want to do is you want to support your viewers on your channel. A common expression is to have an attitude of gratitude. And if somebody is taking time out of their day to watch a video that you've taken the time to film and produce and download, then they deserve your thanks. Life is extremely busy for everybody. It's not just you, it's not just me, it's everybody. And if somebody is going to carve out 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, a day, a week to spend their free time with you and to watch your channel, then appreciate that and understand the magnitude of that. If somebody not only watches your video, but then takes the extra time to comment on your channel or on one of your videos, then you need to respond to them. And there are a lot of other cooking channels out there. I mean, you already know that. But if they've decided to take their time and spend it on your channel, then you owe them at least the appreciation of commenting and showing your gratitude. But I'm sure you already know that. And so let's move on to my sixth and final point of how I feel as though I have been able to grow and monetize my YouTube channel in a relatively short amount of time is to believe that you can do this and to have faith in yourself. I know that for some that is easier said than done. Draw from that same belief system in yourself that when you watched other YouTube channels and other YouTube videos and you thought, well, if they can do it, I can do it. Go back to that same place and continually renew yourself in the belief that, yes, you can do this. Believe me when I tell you that if I can do this, you can absolutely do this. And guess what? I am doing it, and I have seen already some success. I am a firm believer in the law of attraction. And if you are unfamiliar with the law of attraction is a universal law and belief that states that like attracts like. And that is part of a much larger conversation, and it's not the sole focus of this episode, but I will tell you that it is definitely something that I bring to the table with my channel as a whole. Do I occasionally have doubts? Do I occasionally look at some of my episodes and cringe? Yeah, I do. I mean, trust me, there's a lot to cringe about. But I don't dwell on it, and I move forward, and I get better. And I try to bring only positive energy into my channel when it comes to my thoughts and my ideas and my motivations towards my channel. Because everybody knows that you get back what you give. Your thoughts and your ideas about what you think about yourself and life in general are pure, raw energy. And guess what else is pure, raw energy? The internet and YouTube. And so if you maintain a focus of putting nothing but positive thoughts and positive energies into your YouTube channel, then your YouTube channel over time, I'm not saying necessarily overnight, but if you continue to pour positive thoughts and positive energy into your channel will mirror back what you've put into it. If you're constantly filling your channel with thoughts of doubt, fear, hesitation, worry, a feeling of lack of inadequacy, and by the way, these are all things that people experience from time to time. But if those are the only energies that you're putting into your channel, then it probably shouldn't surprise you that your channel is not going to experience the growth that you want it to experience or that you expect it to experience. So believe in yourself that you can do this, because you can. Like I said, if I can do it, you're good. If understanding or learning about the law of attraction is something that you feel like you'd like to know a little bit more about, I would love to recommend the channel You Are Creators. It has been a very valuable resource to me over the last several years on understanding the law of attraction and how it affects your life in a positive or a negative way. And so, like I said, that's all part of a larger conversation. But if you do feel like that's something that would be beneficial in your life, I encourage you to check out the channel You Are Creators. So those are my 6 tips that I feel are the most important pieces of advice that I can bring to you, my fellow cooking channel YouTubers. I hope that this video brings you value. I hope to see some great successes in all of your channels. If you would like me to check out your channel, then leave a comment in the comment section below. Also, to my fellow small cooking channel YouTubers, if you would like to see some more videos like this, then leave a comment in the comment section below too. But I just wanted to make this special episode to my fellow small YouTubers out there, like myself, that are just trying to find their way on this platform, hopefully give you some tips and a little bit of encouragement from somebody who started at 0 and was able to get a little bit of success in a relatively short amount of time. So keep making great videos. I wish you all the most success with your channel. I mean, honestly, I couldn't wish anything more for you. It's whatever you want for your channel, I wish for you. But until I see you all again, everybody, the best of luck to you all. Know that you can do this. Know that I love you, and make it an awesome day. And go make yourself an awesome video.